Hello everyone, welcome to the Vintage Side. In this video I will be making this pencil skirt here. I will be making it out of this navy blue cotton. First I will go through and iron all of my pattern pieces, and I will give my material a quick iron as well. So here I have the pieces ironed and I've just laid them on my material so that you can see these holes, which I'm going to explain. This pattern does not come with any ink printing on it, but there are different sized holes throughout all the pattern pieces. Now, if I go to my instruction sheet, one part of it explains the holes. So they have indicated with actual size symbols what the perforations mean. So I have 3 different size perforations, and then there are notches. So the first explanation is about the largest perforation, which indicates the grain line. I will have 2 large perforations which will be in a straight line that I need to line up with the grain of the fabric. The second one is a medium perforation, and that explains where the center lines are and the shorten and lengthen lines. And then the smallest perforation indicates darts, fold lines, buttonholes and sleeve tops. And then we have notches, which are these little triangles here, and notches are used to let you know where you need to join one piece of material to another piece of material so that they line up. Working with all of those different perforations, I will know how to place my pattern pieces on my material. Let's get started. All of the pattern pieces have been cut out. This skirt is a one size only pattern, and it is a little bit too big for me. What I did is when I cut the front and back panel on the fold, I cut it 1 inch smaller, which then when it opens up would have given me 2 inches less. So effectively I have reduced the front by 2 inches and I've reduced the back by 2 inches. If it is still too big when I'm sewing the skirt, I can obviously do fittings and I can adjust the size. For a skirt, the basic sewing order is to sew the darts. With this, we have the pleats that are in the front panel. So after sewing the darts for the front, then sew the front panels together, leaving the space at the base, which is where we insert the pleat underlay. Then we do the back darts and sew together the back panel pieces. Then we insert the zip on the side, then we sew on the waistband, we do hook and eye closures, and then we hem the skirt and we're done. Okay, so let's get sewing. Here we have 3 panels which make up the front of the skirt, and then we have 3 identical panels which make up the back of the skirt. These panels are shaped in this way to create the pleats. I have sewn one side seam, but I need to measure my zip before I can sew the other one. This is the zip that I am using for this skirt. The very top of my zip is going to go at the very top of the panel, and then where that little silver square is, I'm going to mark that with a pin, and then that is where I'm going to start the side seam. I need to have the top of the zip at the top of the skirt panel, because when I attach the waistband, that material there on the zip becomes part of the seam allowance. If I sewed the zip right on the edge, I wouldn't have any room to attach the waistband because the zip would be in the way. So I'm just measuring it there, and I can see that square was there. I've ironed the seam, and now I will be positioning the zip. I have done a slightly bigger seam on this side so that the material is bigger than the zip, so the zip fits in that seam nicely. What I'm going to do is pin the zip to the first side of the opening. When I line it up with the top, that little silver box is sitting just where the seam opens. For the first side, I am going to sew the zip right on the very edge of my material, because this is going to create the cover, because this will be a lapped zip. I have attached the zip to the first side of the seam. Now, as you can see, I have sewn it almost on the edge of the zip. When I turn it over, there is about 1 centimeter from the zip teeth to the edge of that fold. Now, all of that room is going to create the lap, because this is a lapped zip. So when I fold that back over and I attach it on the other side, this side, I'm going to sew that over, and it's going to create the fold over the zip. Now, the next thing is to attach it to the other side of the seam. Now, what you want to do is pull this material here, pull that quite firm, so that's sitting nice and flat, and you can see that the zip, if I fold it back, it's sitting within this first side of the seam. Where the zip stops and the material continues, I'm going to attach it there, and I want to follow that measurement all the way down, so that all the way down I have that same amount of material on the outside of the zip. Now, when I go to the sewing machine, I'm going to sew this from the bottom to the top, because I am going to start on this side and I'm going to sew line just across here, and then I'm going to go all the way down to the head of the zip. Now that my zipper is attached on both sides, I'm going to turn my skirt the right way round, and I will show you where I'm going to do my top stitching. With the first side, I am going to iron the material so it is fairly close to the zipper teeth without going over them, and I will do a top stitch all the way down here. Now, on the other side, I have the extra material which is going to create the zip cover, so the zip is hidden behind that. I will also iron that one in place. That one, I do want that to cover the zipper teeth, and I want that to be a nice straight line so that everything is in place where I want it to be. The zip is complete, and now it's time to attach the waistband. I have ironed on some stiffening to half of the waistband, which is going to act like waist tape. I don't have waist tape, so I've just used what I've got, which is this iron-on stiffening. I have overlocked one edge, because once I've sewn it on, I then won't be able to access that edge to finish it off. So I'm going to attach the waistband starting at one end of the zip. The waistband is long enough so that there is an area where it will overlap, and I will put a hook and eye closure on that. I am going to hem this skirt with bias tape. Bias tape is material that has been cut on the cross, so it has some stretch to it, and this is commercial bias tape which you can buy at any fabric store.